Hey folks, just wanted to touch base with you and go over some common problems, common questions I've been having with this U.S. history project. So we haven't been able to get together for a while, so I wanted to touch base with you about that. So here we have it: the who, what, where, why, when, and how. All of those things of the U.S. history project. Let me get this moving here. So you will be turning in a project. And a project is not a paper. It can be a paper, but it doesn't have to be. So the the topic is a turning point in American history from the years 1600 to 1900. Okay, any period in American history between the years 1600 and 1900. The Great Depression happened after 1900. It's off limits. The Revolutionary War happened in 1776. Perfect. Go for it. Signing of the Declaration of Independence. Awesome. Civil War, Emancipation Proclamation, Boston Tea Party. All of those are great ideas for topics. So we're talking early American history. Landing of the Mayflower, whatever. Now, here's the kicker. Your project may result in a paper, an exhibit, a documentary, a website, a Prezi. All of the above can work, but you do not have to do all of them. Pick one and do that. So do a paper, or do a website, or do a video, something along those lines. You're also going to be turning in a process paper. Okay, and I'll explain that. A process paper explains what your project was about, what your thinking process was, how and why you chose what you chose, how you went about your research. Did you go to the library? Did you do it all online? Did you do stuff like that? How you developed your project? How was it? How was the end product exactly what you wanted? Did it start and end? That kind of thing. Um, that's the process paper. It's only going to be about one page. Okay, only one pager on that. Okay, process paper, 1 page long. You're also going to be preparing an annotated bibliography, and I'll go over that here in just a second, what that means. Okay? But that's the project in a nutshell. Okay, choose the topic between 1600 and 1900, a paper, a Prezi, a website, whatever you want to do that, process paper, and a bibliography. So here, what you're going to turn in Unit 2 on the 14th, Valentine's Day, which at this point has already passed, so make sure you get this in quick. The 2.01 assignment, choosing a research topic. That, you just tell me what your topic is, and I'll tell you whether it's okay or you need to try again. 221, which again has already passed. The first annotated bibliography. This is only 3 sources. This is like a first draft of the annotated bibliography. You'll notice down here on the bottom that we are going to be turning a second annotated bibliography in March. Okay, so there will be 2. This one you turn in on the 21st is like a first draft annotated bibliography. Okay. On the 24th of February, you've got a quiz. 26th, another quiz. On the 28th, that's when you're turning in your process paper. You can see it's before the final paper is due. So on 2/28, I want your process paper again. That's 1 page talking about how you went about your research. Tell me the story of your project. That's all I want, the story of your project. On the 3rd of March, the final annotated bibliography is due. Okay, I want that before the project. Okay, final annotated bibliography. So there's 2 again. Final annotated bibliography should have 5 or more sources somewhere around there. On the 4th, you're going to be doing a quiz, and on the 5th is when your project is actually due. Okay, there will be a Dropbox that says research project. That's where I want it. Okay, that's on the 5th of March. Okay, so there's quite a bit to turn in. That's your list of things you got to turn in. Alright, so how do you choose a topic? Most of you should already have done this by now, but some of you are still working on it. So one way to find a topic is to review the textbook. Some of the things we went over from last semester. Look at the American beginnings, formation of the United States, all of these things. Union in crisis, that's our Civil War. As you review some of these, ask yourself some of these questions. Are you interested in this? Number 1. What issues would you select as a turning point? What part of the American Revolution became a turning point? The very beginning? The signing of the Declaration of Independence? What? What was it that changed history? Will I be able to find primary and secondary resources? That's a big one. I'll talk about what a primary and a secondary resource is here in just a sec. But will you be able to find sources on this? Some of you have chosen to research some people, which is great, but sometimes you're going to have a hard time finding resources on those people. You might want to choose something a little bigger and easier to figure out. Okay, what is a primary source? A primary source, an original source, or evidence is another way to say it. It's an artifact, a document, a recording of other sorts of information that was created at the time under study. So we're talking about things that happened 200, 300 plus years ago. Okay, 1600s, almost 400 years ago. So you're looking for documents that were created back then. Okay, that's a primary source. It's an original source of information, a newspaper article from the time. Archives.gov is a great source to find that type of information. So let me give you a little quiz here. Which one is a primary source? A picture of the Normandy invasion that was taken during World War II, or the movie Saving Private Ryan? Obviously, you should know. Ding ding, our winner is the picture from the actual time, not Saving Private Ryan. Saving Private Ryan could be a good secondary source in certain situations. Primary source is the picture, something that happened that day. Okay, same thing here. An actual picture of the Emancipation Proclamation here on the right, or a Pulitzer Prize winning novel about Abraham Lincoln. Which one's a primary source? The actual document on the right. This is a great secondary source, the Pulitzer Prize winning book. Excellent. But the one on the right is the primary source. Okay, things that happened that day, the day you're talking about, not things that were written about that day. That's a secondary source. Get-ok? So, speaking of secondary sources, we do need a bibliography. At the end, you're going to have turned in two bibliographies, two annotated bibliographies. An annotated bibliography is a little different than probably what you're used to. It contains all of the sources and a brief explanation about how that source was used, how it helped you understand, and whether it's a primary or secondary source. Okay, 1 to 3 sentences. Doesn't take much. Okay. Here's an example of a secondary source. So we've got this book by Steve Weinberg, Taking on the Trust, The Epic Battle of Ida Tarbell. Okay. Printed John D. Rockefeller, first edition, New York. Okay, that is the citation in proper format, and then down here for the annotation, the notation, Anna Tarbell confronted practices of the Standard Oil Company run by John D. Rockefeller, blah blah blah, secondary account, important to my paper because it showed how unfair monopolies hindered the growth of smaller businesses. Okay, that's an annotation for a secondary source. How about a primary source? You cite it. This is how you cite a website. You put the site there. Charters of Freedom, A New World is at Hand, National Archives. This picture of the original Bill of Rights helped me research my research project by providing a primary source document to demonstrate how the Bill of Rights was a turning point in American government. Okay, it was a primary source. Boom. Okay, good information. An annotated bibliography explains to me not just what your information was, why it was useful. And this is important to me because some of you are going to be turning in papers, and some of this stuff will be easy to extrapolate how you used that particular information. Some of you are going to be turning in websites and videos and prezzies and things like that. I'll need the explanation as to what stuff worked well for you, what things you used, what sources you used, and how they helped you. So annotated bibliographies are important to me. Okay, again, let's look at this. What would be a primary source? An eyewitness, somebody writing in their diary, not your textbook, not an encyclopedia, not a biography. An autobiography could be considered a primary source. Autobiography written by the person. Biographies written by somebody else, no. Yes, a diary letter, entry, a letter, a photograph, all of those are good primary sources. Okay. One more quiz. Which of the following is a primary source on World War I? A historical fiction novel? No. Biography of Woodrow Wilson? No. Textbook description of trench warfare? No. A letter from a soldier fighting in the trenches? Yes. Ding ding. Sounds good. Encyclopedia article about causes of World War I? No. Not a primary source. good secondary sources, all of those. Those are all good secondary sources, but not a primary. Okay? You have to have a few primary sources for this particular assignment. Okay, so a bibliography. This is the example of the 2.3 bibliography assignment that most of you should have turned in by now, but as you can see, the citation is there. It says secondary source, says some of the facts you gained from it. I think this source will help me, blah blah blah. Primary source, I'm using this one because it has the most facts about causes. Secondary source, the article tells me how the document was part of the cause. Okay, that's how it works. Simple annotated bibliography. For the 2.3 assignment, you need 3 sources. 2.3, 3 sources. Easy enough. This is how you do a citation in an essay. Okay, I just want to go over this really quickly because a lot of you are choosing to write papers. So here's a quotation from a person. I was excited when electricity lighted the house. Life was completely changed. Blah blah blah. You go for that, you put it in quotations, and then you put the citation at the end of that in parentheses. The author's name, as you can see down here in the bibliography, was Pam Blair. So you put her last name, Blair, Recalling Life Before Electricity, Arco, Idaho, 2006. In fact, I'm so cool that I'm going to show you how to do this in Microsoft Word. It's really easy. Let me pull this up. Okay, here's the same paragraph, same information. I was excited when electricity lighted the house, blah blah blah. Okay, so now we take and go to references. Ooh. Easy enough, right? Insert a citation. It does it all for you. It's pretty cool. Okay, add a new source. So, type of source is an article in a periodical because it was a magazine that we got. The author is Blair. Pam. Title, Life Without Electricity, blah blah blah. I'm gonna make it quick. Title of the periodical was Awesome. Can't remember what it was. Year 2006. Okay, you need all this information. Month, day, pages 26. Medium. Okay, so we enter that. Boom. Okay, look what it does. It inserts that there. Blair, Life Without. Okay, and now when you get done with your paper, you can go to the bottom and say bibliography. Okay, click on that, and it will insert, hey, a bibliography automatically for you. See, there's the citation. Blair, Life Without, bibliography. Blair, Pam, Life Without. Awesome is the title of the periodical. 2006, the year, page 26. So if you put all the information in properly, it will do it for you. Simple enough. Okay, does your bibliography for you. And then annotations, if you want to put some annotations in there, update citations in bibliography. Right here you can say, okay, this was awesome. I loved it. Lived it, loved it, something like that. Boom. There you go. You've updated it. Okay, so you click on the bibliography, you click on update. That's a cool, easy trick for using Microsoft Word to do all your work for you. Coolness, huh? No, I don't want to say. Okay, let's get back to this. So, when you're ready to write the text for your project, make sure you gather your notes, outlines, and everything like that. The format is going to be a little different depending on what you choose. If you're doing a research paper, I want 4 to 5 pages, double-spaced, 12-point font, use in-text citations like I just showed you. Maybe here I'll give you another good example of in-text citations. Where'd that paper go? I was just looking at. Well, no, that was good enough. So, in-text citations like I just showed you, the parentheses, and then the bibliography at the end. A documentary, obviously, you're going to be speaking. You're going to be narrating. So there'll be some pictures coming across the screen and you're going to be narrating. Or videos coming across the screen, you're going to narrate. I'll show you some software in just a second that may help you do that. You're going to match the audio with the visual components, obviously. So make sure you're talking about what's on the screen. Okay. A website. There's some great ideas out there for websites using combined text passages with visual components, obviously. The text format's going to be determined by the website design. Remember the principles of using a thesis statement and supporting details to apply any presentation format. Let's look at how to write really quickly. I want to go over. Okay, I'm gonna have to pause. Okay, and I'm back. You probably didn't even notice that I was gone, but I was gone. So let's talk about hamburger paragraphs. How to write. Okay. You're gonna have to write well to make this work. So simple. Think about this: a hamburger. How do you achieve a properly written paragraph? It's like a hamburger. Okay. Think about hamburgers per paragraph and hamburgers for the entire project as well. This is really simple. What makes a hamburger really good? Some of the ingredients that you must have. It's about lunchtime. I'm hungry. Okay, simple for the hamburger paragraph. You got to include ingredients to make it mouthwatering, juicy and delicious to the reader, just like a paragraph. We got a top bun, we got lettuce, we got tomato, we got cheese, meat, and the bottom bun. Okay, what would the top bun be in a paragraph? It's our topic sentence. Tells what the paragraph is about, directly addresses the question. Example like this one. In the poem The Raven by Edgar Allan Poe, the author uses the literary device of repetition to help create and sustain the spooky mood and tone of the poem. Okay, nice topic sentence to start your paragraph. What would the lettuce be? The first supporting sentence in your paragraph. It's going to give details. It directly follows the topic sentence. Should be a little more general in nature. Build on and begin to explain the statement you made in your topic sentence. That's what I meant by details. You're going to explain what you just said in your topic sentence. Okay, our tomatoes. The second supporting sentence or detail. This sentence is more specific. Introduce your first point that supports your topic sentence. Okay, so you say a topic sentence and then you start explaining supporting your topic sentence. The tomato supports. It could include either a paraphrase from the book or a direct quote. This is where your quotes are going to come in. So we're already in 3 sentences into this paragraph now, right? The third supporting sentence in your paragraph, it should contain another point that supports or explains the point made in your topic sentence. Okay? Support, support, support. Also including quotes if you haven't already included one. The meat. Yummy. This is your last and most important sentence. It's going to sum everything up, including your strongest point. Okay? This is where you bring it all home. It should directly support your topic sentence. Include some type of evidence from the text. Again, you can put evidence in this one. And then our bottom bun, bringing it all together. Closing sentence, highlights the topic sentence, reviews your main points, makes the paragraph sound finished. This is every paragraph, okay? You do this well, and your paper or your presentation or your project or whatever you're going to do, video, it's all going to sound great, okay? Although Poe uses many literary devices in his poem to help create and sustain this spooky mood and tone, one of the most common and effective devices is repetition. Okay? Brings it all home. There you go. Topic sentence, supporting sentences in the middle, concluding sentences. That's what we want to see on this project. Good, well-written information. Okay? Now let me get back to this. Okay, principles of using a thesis statement, supporting details. Make sure you do that in every format. You can do that. All right. So here we go. Some of the formats you can choose from. Use a PowerPoint. That's fine. Just like I'm doing right here. Simple enough. You can create a Prezi online. Some of you have done that before. If you need more info, send me a K-mail. I'll help you out with that. Weebly.com is a cool place to go if you want to create your own website. They let you do student accounts for free, I believe. Video/documentary. The one I'm using right now to get to you is EasyVid. That's one that you actually download to your computer and it sits there. But you can use Screencast-O-Matic, which does exactly what we're doing here. It records what's going on your screen with voice recording over top of that, and you can show your presentation over this Screencast-O-Matic, and you record that and send me the link. Screencast-O-Matic is nice because you don't have to download any software, and it gives you a hyperlink that you can share with me. So that's a good way to go if you're going to do a video or documentary. Some good options. And that's it. Simple enough, right? If you still have questions, send me a K-mail, and I will do my best to help you out. I wanted to go over this one more time though really quickly. Here we go. The dates. Okay, there are a number of things you're turning in. You should have already turned in a research topic paper, the first annotated bibliography. You're going to be taking 2 quizzes, and then the process paper, which is a short explanation of how you went about your research. The final annotated bibliography, which should have 5 or more sources, including some primary sources. Then you take a quiz, and the research project itself, the whole enchilada, is due on the 5th of March. So send me a K-mail if you have any more questions.